Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Garage. I'm Jay, I'm your host, back as per usual. I don't know why, it looks like I'm wearing lipstick. There's something weird going on with my mouth all of a sudden just before we started
No,
filming.
you're definitely wearing lipstick.
Yeah, weird. And I'd just like to apologise for the people watching the video about my vest, because it is just hot as balls. It's absolutely ridiculous. As per usual, here with me is my mate Gaz. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah,
Just
excellent stuff. Now we've
Maddest
both
week in
had,
work ever.
yeah, we've both had quite interesting weeks since last time we did a show.
Yes.
I'll go first because I think you're winning, so we'll save you to last.
No, not you.
Yeah. So, like, first off, I've spent 2 nights on the couch this week because Thunder and the Lightning has been driving the dogs mental. So they've just been running all over the house and screaming like fuck. So I've had about 8 hours sleep all week, which is, yeah, great fun. Amazing. But yeah, I also have a bit of a confession. I cheated on you on Sunday. I was on another podcast on Sunday for like 2 hours.
You slag.
I know, tell me about it. Proper slutting it up this week. Yeah, it was really good. Remember me saying, like, quite a few episodes back, that when I do the introduction, I always nearly say this other podcast's name.
Oh, really?
Instead of saying a Movie Garage, because it's one of the only ones I listen to regular. It was that podcast. So, yeah, I definitely nearly said it. Yeah, it was the Awesome Comics podcast with the writing that I'm doing, which
Cool.
is really cool, because this week I've also started a Kickstarter for a graphic novel that I wrote, and it smashed it. So it's been unbelievable. It took 10 hours to raise the total that we were going for. And it's,
Yeah, which is mad. That's absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's been absolutely unbelievable. The response has been crazy. The guys that I'm working with on it, the artist and the guys doing the colouring and the writing, it's a production house, if they refer to it like that, called Reckless Hero, and they're just incredible. The work that they do is amazing. The fact that I've got to write this book for them is absolutely brilliant. I'm really excited to bring it out. But like I say, it's running now for we've got basically another 3 weeks, I think, of this Kickstarter, and we've made our total already. So everything else on top of this is just letting us add to it and add to it and add to it. So yeah, it's been a week of ups and downs, really. How about you?
Yeah. Well, no, let's not take the shine off your story. No, my week's been mental. The most mental week I've had in 17 years of working in the car dealership. And that would have just been last Monday night alone. So anyone, like, I'm allowed to say stuff because it's been all over the news and the police have already put stuff out. So it's already been out there. So anyone who doesn't know that I work at Guy Simon Jaguar Land Rover in Stockport, and the one that nearly got set completely on fire. And that's been it's just been a mad week, really, because it's just crazy to kind of wake up to hear that kind of news, that your work's nearly been set completely on fire. And what I kind of need to say is, and which the absolute truth is, that we're up and running as absolute normal.
Wow.
There's been very minimal damage to the building at all. Most of the damage was done to the cars.
Yeah, Jesus.
And they're definitely saying it's arson.
Wow, really?
There's a very good hint of who has done it, and there's just no way of proving that. Yeah. And no, yeah, it's just been absolutely just a crazy week, because they tried last Monday night and failed because they didn't know there was a night shift on, and they came back realizing there was a night shift, and they went for it this time. And by all accounts, there's, I think, 32 write-offs.
Holy shit.
And there are 27 of these are just ash, and yeah, they and then because of the extent of the fire, it did the wind blew it onto part of the building,
Right.
Now, once that building got set on fire, the fire brigade left the cars, and that's probably why the cars were so badly hit.
Right,
because they literally went, there's gas and all sorts in that building. We need to we need to put the building out. Now, the part of the wall of the building that got set on fire is the building I work in. So I've now been drafted, like me and 9 other lads have been drafted outside to work. So it's been mad, but in general, most of it, the damage is the cars, and that's all can be covered by insurance and stuff like that. So it's not hit the company ridiculously hard, and you know, it's a crazy week, but I think you just got to crack on and move on and do the best you can. Luckily enough that we've all walked in. We didn't go in the day after. Couple of days after we went in, and luckily enough, we're all walking back into our jobs. So,
brilliant! That's great news.
Yeah, so it's been mad, and this week's been mad because we've had to work around that because I've not been able to shift all them cars and stuff like that, and been working outside and stuff like that, and new ways of doing stuff for this week. But
it's just what you
kind
need
of got
after
there.
All the new COVID regulations come in, and now you've got new might be on fire regulations. What the fuck? It's absolutely unbelievable. The videos that you sent me on WhatsApp the other day were just crazy. Those cars are literally, there's just nothing left of them, is there?
No, and that's what the fire brigade was saying, that they might have saved a few more if the building hadn't set on fire. So, but if the building set on fire, then it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So it's just been a mad week. But yeah, but no, it's cracking on. It's normal. Crack on. It's normal.
Excellent stuff. That is good news anyway, man. Or at least, like you say, at least no one's losing the job or anything fucking stupid. So that'd have been gross.
No. They're not going to go down that route. Luckily enough, it is the company that kind of run our place is sitting there, and it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So
yeah.
They're not going to go down that route. So we're quite lucky in that respect. Because if that was a small car garage, it would have probably folded it.
Yeah, that's it. It's finished.
So yeah, no, it's all good. It's all
brilliant stuff. Excellent. Well, that is good news. So we'll go on to some movie news now then. Now we've managed to depress everybody with how good and shit our weeks have been. This week, unfortunately, is just... So we did quite a bit of news on last week's show. So I had to go for a lie down as soon as we'd finished. That was it. I was just gone, zonked. This week is basically a sequel and a reboot special. So me and you have spent a lot of time bitching about reboots and stuff, but the sequels we kind of tend to be on board with, don't we? We're kind of all right with them.
Yeah.
As long as it kind of like follows the story and it's the same characters and shit, I'm a big fan. So what I've decided was to do it as a bit of like a shit sandwich for you. So I'll talk about 2 sequels that we're kind of like all right with. So I'll start off by one of them, and then we'll go into all the reboots that have been announced this week, and then we'll finish with another sequel, which is another good news. So to try and lighten the blow a little bit on either side of it. First off, they have announced that Dirty Dancing 2 is officially happening. Jennifer Grey is coming back as Baby, which is her original character from the first movie. Obviously, unfortunately, Patrick Swayze is not going to be in this one. But there's not really been anything released about plot or anything along those lines. You'd imagine that it'd be about her kids, hers, and Patrick Swayze's character's children after the first one. Were you a fan of the first film at all?
I love the first one.
Yeah, me too.
The soundtrack's one of the best soundtracks of all time.
Oh, isn't it just? It's like growing up on my dad's side of the family as well, they're literally all dancers. So they all do like ballroom dancing. They've all like competition level. Some of them still do it now and like the same age as us, and they're fucking incredible at it. So that, whenever you walked into any of their houses, that was the movie that was constantly playing. It just really reminds me of being a kid.
Yeah, no, it's funny that because it's that I don't have the same story there. That it was Lisa's go-to film as a kid, and that it's always, I think it's one of her favourite films. So we watch. It's quite regular. Whenever it's on, we kind of watch it. But I actually love it. Don't anyone come out there and go, it's a full-on chick. No, it's not a full-on chick flick. It's cool as crap.
Yeah, because Patrick Swayze is awesome, and anything that he's in instantly makes it 10 times more manly. If you don't believe that, go and watch Roadhouse right now. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix at the minute. That's the most. You can't get more manly than that. There's a line in it where he says he used to fuck dudes like you in prison. That's yes. That's not Dirty Dancing, by the way. That's Roadhouse. That'd have been a very different film if he'd have said that in Dirty Dancing. But yeah, it's an amazing movie. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the second one. Like I say, nothing's really been announced with it that far yet, other than the fact that we know some of the original cast are returning. So it should definitely be a follow-on rather than them redoing it, which is definitely good news.
Yeah, it will be a follow, especially like you said, if they're bringing some characters back, it's going to be a follow-on, and they're not going to do it. You know, like you said, there's not too much. There's not too much out there, but I'm well up for that.
Yeah, because I think like we talk a lot about reboots and stuff, and we're going to get into some in a minute. There are like certain films that you definitely shouldn't touch. I think Dirty Dancing is probably one of them. You should definitely never do a remake of Dirty Dancing. Do stage shows, do whatever you want, make it into a TV show, but never do another film. Never touch that.
No, absolutely not. No, it's it works because what you're going to do, put new music towards these. It works because it's kind of they've made old music cool in the film, haven't they? And really sexed it up a little bit, haven't they? And I don't think you can do that with a bit of rap.
No, that's what it'd be, because that seems to be like the natural progression, isn't it? It would be like a rap movie.
How they going to have a sexy dance to Stormzy? It's not.
Everybody with bulletproof vests on, that'd be well good. I'd actually be down for that. Yeah, that's it. And if you are going to like reboot something in that way, then there's no point, is there, if you're going to make it completely different? Just make something new, which is what I'm going to be bitching about in about 15 minutes once we get onto this last one. So, so the original was 1987. So obviously this one is just going to follow their lives and carry on from there, hopefully. But yeah, we shall see. Fingers crossed that it's good. So, deep breath. There's been 3 major reboots that have been announced this week. Maybe like a couple of weeks ago and we've missed it and we're just catching up. But now they are definitely going ahead. I have predictions, okay? So I think the first one, you're not going to be that bothered about. The second one, you might be mildly pissed off about. The third one, you are probably going to hate with the vengeance of 1,000 suns. So these are like classic old movies that are being redone and rebranded and basically remade. So first one is 3 Men and a Baby. They are redoing 3 Men and a Baby starring Zac Efron. Now that is a comedy movie from the mid-80s about an actor who gets a woman pregnant. She can't cope, so basically drops the kid off at his house, and he lives in a bachelor pad with 2 other guys, and the 3 of them end up raising this baby. And it ended up with a sequel as well with the same actors in, and it's amazing. They're really, really great, really nice comedy films, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a proper easy watcher, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
The classics. Is it going to be a creepy story about a ghost spy in the background?
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, that's a big conspiracy thing, isn't it? In one of the scenes, it's just a kid, isn't there, stood like behind the curtain or something? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember the full story about that, but.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I completely forgot about that. Imagine you'd have to do something.
Yeah, when it's something to do with a kid that was met beyond the thing and died, and
Yeah, and he's there.
And he's there, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so apparently this is going to be from Disney Plus, so it's going straight onto there. So God knows whether they're going to be throwing.
No, again, you're probably about on the money of that. Not too bothered about that. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I like Zac Efron, so
yeah, so do I. And the last movie he did was Baywatch, which again was another reboot, and that was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty decent actually. Is that the last film he did?
Well, not the last movie he did, but the last like reboot that he did, which is like another 80s TV show. I think he's done a couple more since then. I think that was about 5 or 6 years old now, isn't it?
Yeah, easily.
And that went over really, really well.
I don't think I've heard too much about that. I did see it. I didn't know how far along they were with that, but no, it doesn't bother me at all. Until we know more about these kind of things, I'm quite cool of having Zac Efron on board because I like him as an actor. He's a cool actor, and he does make things relevant and cool. So I'm all right with that.
Seems like a really good dude as well. Have you watched any of like the working out interviews that he does?
Annoyingly. It's you really start to hate these people after a while, don't you?
Big time. Especially if they look like him. Wow.
Yeah, when he looks like he's sculptured out as something.
Yeah.
Like basically, like in his face.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, turns out, do you know what? He's actually a nice dude.
Yeah. And in that Baywatch movie, he looks like he's cut from granite, doesn't he? He's like, he's got like -% body fat. It's insane. He was actually talking about that on one of the videos he watches. So he's got his own YouTube channel where he does workouts with like celebrities and interviews them. And basically he does like their workout with them. It's a really, really cool watch. And he was, I think it was Alexandra Daddario. Do you know, he's like the brunette girl who's in Baywatch with him. He was talking about like the stuff he had to do to get in that kind of shape, and he just said it was horrible. And he said like the shit he had to go through.
Did you see the article a few weeks back where they're saying they caught him with his top off and went, "Oh no, Zac Efron's got a dad bod."
Yeah, right.
Honestly, if I had that body, I would never wear a top. If that's that bod,
yeah,
because it wasn't chiseled like he was in Baywatch. Granted, it was still amazing.
Yeah, still smashing it. Oh, gross.
He ain't got tits.
Yeah, people are just the worst. Talking about Baywatch, actually. So the original of that starred the Hoff, David Hasselhoff, and he's actually in the movie, and he meets The Rock as like his weird mentor.
Yeah, he's in it a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah. So sticking with David Hasselhoff, it has been announced that there is a Knightrider movie being made.
It just seems a bit of a money one, this one, you know.
Yeah. Now I've got many levels of being pissed off at this Knightrider thing being made. So like, it's been done before. The first thing they did when they rebooted it in the 90s was they changed the car and made it shit. It didn't last one series, whereas the original Knightrider series was like around 1986, and I think it ran for like 7 seasons, something along those lines. If you've not seen it, it was about a like radically advanced talking car called Kit, and Michael Knight, the guy who drove it, and they went round solving crimes together, and it was awesome.
It was, but I actually don't think it stands time.
Yeah, well, I've actually been watching some of it recently because I've got like the whole thing on box set, and you're right, it doesn't really like stand up the test of time, but like some things that they did in it were like massively progressive, because it was basically made by like a load of hippies who didn't really like the government, and it was like quite anti-establishment in it. Kit was amazing. They had a female like technician who looked after him. And yeah, I really just used to love it, especially when I was a kid. Watching it now like brings back nostalgia, but you're right, it doesn't really like stand up that much.
Yeah, I watched it a bit, and like I thought it was pretty decent. Like you said, it's pretty cool. You've got a talk. You know, when you're a kid and you're watching some dude a talking car that helped save the thing, mate, and that's cool. But
yeah,
I think they're kind of grasping at straws a little bit and trying to make David Hasselhoff relevant again.
Well, that's the thing. We don't even know if he's going to be in it. We don't like know any details about it.
Oh, really?
The assumption is that they're just going to start again from scratch, which would be even worse because it's like if they don't give at least like the TV series when they rebooted it was about Michael Knight's son, so it was basically trying to carry on from where it was and what happened afterwards. But people still hated that. Somebody pointed out in the comments section of one of the articles I was reading about it. It's like, well, cars actually talk now and they drive themselves. What are they going to show us to make us actually watch this? It's real life now. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's exactly. So there's nothing exciting.
Yeah, that's it. Having said that, though, I did spend all of lockdown writing a Knightrider screenplay that I wanted to try and pitch to someone about a reboot that I wanted to do. Which definitely. Yeah. So this pissed me off on every level. They're bringing this film out, like knowing it's going to be shit, and knowing that I was like, I had like a really, really good idea for how to carry it on and kind of update it and like make it a bit more like character based and how the car would adapt now and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to wait until these details of the story and everything about this new Knightrider coming out, and then I'll make a video saying what I would have done instead. And I'll try and make that go viral just to wind them up.
So I've kind of crushed your dreams there, aren't I, dude? By saying it won't stand the test of time.
No, that's the thing. No, and it's well, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, like you've got to kind of change the concept now to try and fit in with the way that everything is, because like that person on the thing pointed out, you get self-driving cars now. So you've got to actually do something with the self-driving car to make it more interesting than, hey, this car just drives itself. You can't really do that shit anymore because they actually do.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly right. So, yeah, anyway. Right, so the third and final one. I won't be surprised if this is the one that you've heard about. And I think this is the one that might affect you the most out of the three. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is being rebooted, but they're doing a serious, dramatic version of it.
Yeah, this is the one I was going to chat to you about.
Yeah. So what have you heard about it?
So I've heard that some YouTuber made a video that went viral, and it kind of clipped the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and made it more of a series thing. And that went viral. And I've heard that Will Smith seen the video and went, "Yeah, this is a great idea." And they've worked on it for about a year now, trying to pitch it to HBO and Netflix and stuff like that. And like by all accounts, Will Smith's fully on board. He wants to write it. He wants to direct it. A lot. So that's kind of what I know of what I've heard about it.
Yeah, exactly right. So it did, like you say, they've been pitching it to streaming services. Apparently, it started a massive bidding war because Will Smith shits gold, doesn't he? Anything that he touches, people are going to watch just because it's got Will Smith in. Even if it's just his name and he doesn't actually star in it, he should. If he's going to do it, he should play Uncle Phil, because like now I think he's pretty much the same age as Uncle Phil was supposed to be in the TV show. So if he's going to do it, then that'd be an amazing, like, really full meta. I'm like equally parts annoyed and happy about this because I loved the show as a kid. It was literally one of the things that I tuned into every single time it was on.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Like it really is, because it was different because it was quite black cultured. It was very different, and it was cool, you know. It was, and like jokes and stuff like that carry. You know, if I put it on now, I'll still laugh at some of the stuff that
Definitely.
they're still what they're kind of talking about. They're quite clever in the way that it was written. That
100%.
stuff is going to be still relevant. Stuff is still going to be funny and stuff. Yeah, but I'm not actually mad about this because I get that they want to do it a bit darker, and they did say they're going to like make a nod to the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's going to be called Bel-Air, isn't it?
Bel-Air, yeah, that's the word.
And yeah, and they're still going to give a bit of a nod to it, but it'd be quite cool to see it a little bit dark because it changes it a little bit for me.
Yeah,
if it is a bit darker, and some of the scenes in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where they did go dark and quite serious were real powerful things, and you know, it's kind of one part of that I liked about the show. So,
but the interesting thing is though, right, because it was a comedy, I always feel like when comedies do like switch it up and they do something serious, like there's that scene that's constantly going around the internet about when he's talking to Uncle Phil about his dad, and his dad walks out and Will Smith just like kind of flicks Dunny, and he really goes for it. He's basically saying like, I don't need him, I grew up without him, I've been really successful without him, and then he just breaks down halfway through it and he's like, why doesn't he want me, and all this kind of stuff. And it's an incredible scene. I always feel like things like that hit harder coming from a comedy because you're sat there for 20 minutes laughing your ass off at it, and then all of a sudden it goes bang and really slaps you with something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. And that's where they could capture, if they get it right, they could really capture these kind of moments that just, like you said, you just kind of go, holy shit, you know, this is, and that is definitely one of them moments where you feel a tear running down your face. You know, you're right, that's such an iconic episode, that one.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. So yeah, like you said, this is so anybody who's not familiar with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, is basically a kid from the streets of Philadelphia who grew up on the streets, and well, not on the streets, he grows up with his mum, quite a poor area, doesn't he?
I thought you were going to do the rap.
No, I'm not fucking touching that. I'm already wearing a vest. Last thing we need is me rapping on here as well, dude. Just be like, we get minus views. Is it possible to unwatch things on YouTube? And then he gets into a fight one day, and then his mum panics and sends him to live with like his rich auntie and uncle in Bel-Air, and it's all about how Will Smith, adjusts to life with this really rich family, massive fish out of water type thing. Now, like I said, I was pretty upset that they were touching this. I thought like it worked really well with what it was, being a comedy, but then really dealing with really like serious issues at the time, because like Will Smith ends up going to like a mainly predominantly white prep school, doesn't he? They pay for him to go to a really posh school, and like him trying to fit in there and stuff. And then his cousin Carlton, who's like really up his own arse and proper, always been mega posh all the way through it. I thought it was really interesting. Then I watched the trailer that's been floating around that all this is based on. It's incredible.
Oh really? I've not seen it yet.
The way that he's done it, he's basically it's a guy called Morgan, I think, on YouTube, Morgan Cooper, and he's basically like a super fan of the show, and he has filmed it like so seriously, so well, produced it amazingly. He's basically kind of remade the opening titles to the show. He's not done a rap or anything like that, but he's made it quite dark and quite serious and quite gritty. And it's incredible. It's just a little 4-minute thing, and I can really see why Will Smith's picked up on it and gone, yeah, let's fucking go.
What we'll do is we'll put the link up on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So anyone that's interested in seeing that can watch it. Because I'm definitely going to check it out later on. But it doesn't surprise me that they are touching this, is because there's rumours and chats about them actually coming back for doing a film.
Yeah.
A Fresh Prince of Bel-Air film, or a one-off episode or a series or what have you. And then unfortunately they lost. Is it Dan Avery that plays Uncle Phil?
Uncle Phil. Yeah, I think it is.
So he passed away, and I think it kind of just. I don't think they wanted. I think I remember hearing Will Smith actually saying they wouldn't have had anyone else to play him.
No, of course.
They wouldn't have done that, and it kind of crushed that idea of them doing that. So it doesn't surprise me he wants to jump on board with something that's that little bit different.
Yeah, that's it. It's so Will Smith, apparently his next film he's playing the Venus sisters, the two that play tennis. He's playing their dad. Just read that before. I was quite surprised.
That's quite a random one.
Yeah, really odd. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I'm kind of upset that they are treading on the Fresh Prince thing. I wish they'd have done something just completely new and different. But I think if they do it right, and like you say, it's going to be good. And obviously, it's quite a genius idea, really, because it's going to get so much more notoriety being linked to that original series. And people like us who really watched it, we probably wouldn't watch a gritty version if we hadn't watched the original, and then they were saying, look, it's kind of like that but serious, and you know what I mean? It's kind of, me and you will definitely watch it because we were fans of the original, but I don't think we'd have watched a random TV show that was about this otherwise.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's definitely going to make people of our age to definitely go and watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. Like you say, we'll share. I'll find the link on YouTube to that video and I'll share it, because it's just, it completely like changed my way of thinking about it, because I was like, oh God, this is gonna be fucking hard. No, actually, we're on board. We're good. This is gonna be pretty awesome, actually.
So
yeah, I should just shut up, stop being such a miserable tosser, and just enjoy life for a little while. Just try it for a bit. So so as reboots go, not really a bad one, was it?
No.
All right, we seem to be slim to middling. Back to more good news, which is always fun to end on. John Wick. Now, are you a fan of the John Wick films?
I've only watched the first one.
Have you? So right now we're up to number 3. I think they're incredible. They're literally just like, they remind me of like 80s action movies where you could just sit back and just watch a bunch of guys get the shit kicked out of them for an hour and a half.
Yeah, the first one was incredible. I really enjoyed the first one, and I just not got around to watching the rest of them. Like, it's not that I'm not I don't want it or anything like that. It's just one of them things where you never get around to watching. But the second and third one have gone down really well. So it kind of seems like it's going to be one of them films. It just rolls on and rolls on and rolls on. Yeah,
not just that. So they've announced that episodes 4 and 5, starring Keanu Reeves, are going to be filmed back to back. So there's at least another 2 more movies coming out in the franchise. So if you've not seen it, then basically Keanu Reeves plays the best hitman ever, but he retires because he falls in love. He gets married. Unfortunately, his wife dies. I think she dies of cancer, and he ends up getting a puppy. Unfortunately, some people break into his house and kill his dog in the first movie, and he just goes on a rampage and kills like 60 guys to get to this son of a mob boss who broke into his house, stole his car, and murdered his dog because of what this puppy like meant to him. And then the second and third one kind of spiral on from there. What's gone on after this? So he basically takes down this entire mob outfit, and then everything spirals out of control. So we're getting another 2 in the film franchise with Keanu Reeves. It's also getting a spin-off TV series called The Continental. Now, do you remember the hotel that was in the first movie?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite a genius concept. So there's a chain of hotels all around the world called The Continental, and they specialize in catering for hitmen. So basically, you go in, you kind of identify yourself as a member of the Continental, and they will supply you with like any medical care you might need. They'll supply you with weapons and rooms, and you're basically safe while you're inside these hotels. And like hitmen who have been at war with each other will just go in and have to drink next to one another at the bar and shit like that. Because if you go against this Continental, which might happen in one of the other John Wick movies, if you go against this, then basically your whole world comes crushing down, and they get everybody to come after you. So they're doing a full TV series about this hotel chain, which is just a brilliant idea.
Cool.
Yeah,
I love the idea of that.
Such an amazing idea for a show. I don't know whether it's going to be based around someone who uses the hotel, or whether Keanu Reeves is going to pop into it and it's going to like spin off from there. I'm not really sure on any of the details, but that's definitely going ahead, and it looks like it's going to be amazing.
That's wicked. That's right down my street. That sounds amazing.
It's really cool. Secondly, another spin-off has been announced, which I honestly couldn't be more happy about. I think it's the third movie. I think it is. He goes and gets the assistance of like another group of assassins who are like Russian ballerinas, basically, and they're all these like really hard assassin women. Now they're doing a spin-off of it called The Ballerina, which is going to concentrate on this group of assassins. Starring Chloe Moretz as the main part. Chloe Moretz is the girl who played Hit Girl in the Kick-Ass movies. She's now mid-20s. I am infatuated with Chloe Moretz on every single level. You could be infatuated with a person. It's amazing. Like I've watched pretty much all of the movies, and she's just such an incredible actress. And she's also one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life. She's a massive hippie and activist as well. So it's just, everything is just, yeah, I'm on board for this film when it comes out.
You put your lipstick on just for it.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Looking all posh. Just in case she happens to watch a random movie-based podcast/video show. I thought I'd best look my best and wear my vest. Oh, yeah. Gross. So basically it sounds like it's going to be an adult version of Hit Girl. So she's just going to be going out, taking names and kicking ass, which I couldn't be more pleased.
Good stuff there, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably good stuff. Like, it's really interesting it's a good watch, I think, kind of Hitman, Hit Girl kind of stuff. It's especially for TV shows. I think
you definitely need to watch like the next two movies, because they expand on the world and on the universe so much. Yeah. It's just incredible, and the groundwork that they like, and now, like I say, all these spin-offs are happening. This is going to be like a franchise that's going to be huge for years. If they don't do 2 or 3 of these ballerina movies, then they've done something wrong when they make the first one, because the premise is already there. They don't really need to do any work on it. They just need to go, this is her from this, watch how much ass she can kick, and then just go from there. That Continental idea is a really good idea. It's a
great idea.
Yeah, if it doesn't come off well, then they've fucked it up, because everything is already there. But yeah, I honestly can't wait for him. Right now, Keanu Reeves is filming Matrix 4.
Yeah, he is. That's right. So yeah, no.
God knows where they're going to go with that, but I'm looking forward to that as well.
No idea.
I can't even begin to get my head around where they're going to go with that after the end.
Oh God, it's going to hurt my head.
I just hope.
It's going to hurt my head like Inception hurt my head.
Yeah, that's it.
That really did.
You know what they should do if they really want to fuck everyone up? Get the guy, like the guy who plays kind of like God in the second one. Is it the second one or the third one? Where he goes into that room and it's all the cameras, and he gives like a really convoluted explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's third.
I want to say it's
I know you mean.
But I can't remember 100%. And so he basically explains to Keanu Reeves what the one is, but it's really, really complicated the way he explains it, and everybody's just sat there going, what they should do is get him to do like a 10-minute recap before the movie of like what's gone on in between, what we haven't seen, but just really complicated so no one can understand it.
The thing is, I'm going to have to watch out the 3 before the 3 before 4 comes.
Excellent. There's another treat for you. Supposed to be doing a prequel as well, I think. They've been talking about it. Obviously, it won't have any of the stars in that we know from the movies, but think that might just be rumours, or I'm not 100% sure. We shall see. Yeah, so I think that's about all we've got for you for this week. It's a bit more relaxed than just spilling off reams of information like we did last time. Yeah, it should be interesting. Another bit of news, just quickly, because it's coming up to DC Fandom. I think that's in the next, I think they've called it Fandom, but it's spelled Fandom, so I'm not giving them the credit. DC Comics have just laid off like 50% of the staff.
Really?
Yeah. They've announced that they're really slowing down on print runs that they're doing for comics and stuff. It's really bad over there at the minute. Like 2 weeks before they do this massive DC Comics event, they've just sacked a whole bunch of the staff. It's going to be like so bad. But yeah, so we'll save all that until the fandom thing actually happens, because there's going to be loads of news coming out of that again. Not as much as came out of San Diego Comic-Con, but we shall see. New York Comic-Con in between now and then as well, so we might have another one that's just New York Comic-Con, you know, you get something like 300,000 people going to New York Comic Convention over the 4 days that it runs. They were going to go ahead with it in like 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
There was no plans to cancel it. People were going mental. But now, thankfully, they've cancelled it. They've announced that they're doing a lot of digital stuff, so it's going to be the same kind of thing.
That's good.
Aye. Yeah, so for now, that is us. Yeah, like us, subscribe to us on all the usual channels. We're on all the different social medias. You can get us on wherever you get your podcasts from as well. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I have been Jay, and this has been Gaz.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. See you again.